Hi, welcome to Charts Chatter with Chatur Charts, the 30th May 2022 edition. And what a stupendous day the indices had. The June series kicking off into its second day today. Nifty rallied a handsome 308 points to close at 16,661, while Bank Nifty rallied about 213 points to close at 35,826. So our targets that we had determined more than a week back that Nifty will test and touch 16,600 and Bank Nifty is headed towards 36,000. Both of them thankfully came true with the blessings of the market powers and the market superpowers, the market gods. So that's very good because a lot of things, as I keep saying, is that nothing is given in the markets, and anything the markets can move any which ways. But in technical analysis, it helps you to kind of true up the targets and with a very high certainty and high probability of certain setups. One can really try and target determine targets with accuracy. So the beauty of technical analysis is that it helps you to determine what kind of setups have high probability. Every setup has some level of probability, but there are some very high probability setups, the ones that we have kind of analyzed and presented to you. And I think the markets reaching them is a logical, kind of an outcome of those setups. So let's try and see what happened with Nifty and the other indices today. So this is the Nifty chart and the markings that we had made in the chart with the inverted head and shoulder pattern, the symmetrical pattern, and the range breakout pattern. The combination of the three very potential forces. And we have still kept the target here at 504 points. So 2 sessions back, I had spoken about a possible 500-point breakout, which will take Nifty to 16,600. At that point, it seemed well nigh impossible because Nifty was barely at 15,900 and 16,000 levels. And for an index to rally 500 points in just 2 sessions seemed to be a improbable kind of a situation. But here we are, exactly 2 sessions later. Nifty has completely filled up this gap. Remember, we had marked in blue arrows a gap of more than 500 points, and that gap has been filled. So as per the Fibonacci retracement, it has exactly gone and cleared the 38% retracement and just closed a tad above it. So the 38% retracement is at 16,553 and today's close is at 16,661. So it has managed to scramble and just close a little bit above that. So a very strong close. The MACD is positive. The stochastic has already given a buy signal in Nifty, which was lacking. So things seems to be going good for Nifty. Let's examine Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty also hit its target of 36,000. Remember, we had a target of 36,000, which was determined exactly a week back. And today it has kind of attained that target. The gap has been completely filled. Now, this inverted head and shoulder pattern breakout target is about 1,682 points. And this bar eventually will take it to 36,500. However, today, Bank Nifty's pattern, end of the day candlestick pattern, is an evening star. So we all know that evening stars play their role and will try to pull down the index a little bit before it makes an up move. So the evening star here does not mean that there's going to be a major sell-off in Bank Nifty, but it clearly means that it's not yet ready to cross this point. The reason why it is not willing to cross this point is because if you notice that this is exactly at the golden ratio entry of 61%. So at exactly 36,000 thereabouts is the level where it enters the golden ratio of Fibonacci. So generally, stocks, indices tend to struggle a bit there. And there is a possibility that it might retest a lower level somewhere around 35,200 thereabouts before it moves up. So nothing's lost, but my own take is that it's going to spend some time here, maybe give or take 400 points here and there before it tends to take its journey. The good part of today's close is that it has kind of closed above the 50-day moving average at 35,784. So that's one target or one milestone that it has kind of achieved. So Bank Nifty is still strong, but my personal take is that it will retest perhaps 35,200, 300 zones once again before it continues its journey upwards. So what moved Nifty today? If Bank Nifty did not help and in fact gave up about 200 points from the day's high, it was actually Nifty IT. And that doesn't come in as a surprise because looking at the pattern last week, we had very clearly determined that there was a wedge pattern that failed initially, but later on a range breakout because the Nifty IT index had touched the upper end of the range and it was raring to go with the oscillators getting stronger. So today in one single session, ideally the Fibonacci retracement level zone should have been drawn right from the top. But since this is a range breakout that has happened, it is ideal to first draw it from a lower level and see where it goes. So if you see that in just 2 sessions, it has managed to come and knock at the doors of the 50% retracement zone. So it is a strong close, but Nifty IT will have to, at a minimum, recapture 30,500 levels if it has to make any reasonable inroads into the buying the exercise that has happened, and if it has to meaningfully add to Nifty's rally. So some of the stocks that we had covered was Infosys, and this, in my opinion, looks to be the strongest of the IT pack. Now, in one session, on Friday's session, Nifty Infosys crossed out of the rising channel and had a very, very strong close at 1461. And in today's session, it crossed out of the 38% retracement and has kind of closed above the 26 EMA at 1529. So it's a very, very strong close that Infosys has given. And Infosys is very, very strongly heading towards the 1550 level first, followed by the 1587 level, perhaps in the next 4 to 5 sessions, if this buying and this strength continues. So though in terms of averages, it still has to do a lot of catch up, but there are a lot of positives. MACD histogram turning positive, stochastic is already positive, and RSI is positive, and the ADX is just about to give a buy signal. So good going so far. Looks to be an exciting week ahead. The June series has begun well, and Nifty might retest 16,800, 16,900 zones in the next few sessions if the strength continues in the Nifty IT. And Nifty IT has to contribute if Nifty 50 has to move up. So let's catch up again. And I hope you like this video. And if you do like it, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it amongst the trading community. Thank you so much and have a nice evening.